about 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 25, maybe 30. It depends. He's a very hard man to catch, very hard man to find, but nonetheless we did the best we could, and we finally got a hold of him. Remember, we proudly are powered by Coca-Cola. We continue to remind you that meals go better with an ice cold Coca-Cola. So in case you are having a meal with friends and family and relatives, don't you forget to grab an ice cold Coca-Cola, and you shall definitely test the feeling. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, big size Bebe Cool, big man. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fair.
Ani kasimanyi style ya kubuza ngeje tuli ya waka wano limu chill mode nkubuza style ya studio, style ya ndongo, style ya waka.
Style ya TB lero. Ya calmness.
Style ya
man.
Ya bukaka. How have you been? Before we start, before we go even any further, I want you to take a minute and say hello to your fans all over worldwide.
Hi, hi everyone watching NTV. Thank you, Douglas, for inviting me. That today is World TB Day, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm on TV today, to say, remind the whole country about this dangerous disease that kills Ugandans, and that we need to pay attention to it. We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it definitely. All right, let's delve straight into the interview, baby. First of all, you're a hard man to find. You're a very hard man to catch. Hard man to catch. The last time that I ever saw you and spoke to you was 1st January, at the beginning of the year, when you were dropping the Bebe Cool list. From that day up to today, I have not even seen a niche of you, a glimpse of you. Regardless of how many times we've been asking you, come to TV, come talk to your fans. What makes you so hard to find?
Relevance and importance at a specific time. Because, you don't just go on TV or radio when you don't have major points to, put up. Today is World TB Day. I'm a musician. We're in COVID time. No activities. I'm in studio. So you tend I tend to create space so that once I come out, it's not boring. You don't want to be active during a time when people don't need to see too much of you, and then the time you need them to see too much of you, and then they're tired of you. So you have to draw in and draw back, draw in and draw back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would work. I thought it would work the other way around. Being a celebrity, you need to be in the eyes of the people every now and then, but you're giving it to me differently.
Yeah, you need to be in the eyes of the people, but the eyes is not just the eyes. It can be the ears, it can be the mouth. So it's one of those things. My silence always actually speaks louder than my... So it's either one way or another. You just need to keep relevant in a way. But you don't have to just come out. You don't need to come out to keep relevant. But you can do some things out there and you stay relevant. I mean, a person like Bebe Cool, I've stepped on that stone of relevance. That's why I can stay home for 2 months and still my silence speaks. Yeah, man.
Okay, now tracking back to the very last time that I saw you, which is still 1st of January, when you were dropping the Bebe Cool list, you are also dropping a brand new song, Surrender. 90 days later, how has Surrender turned out for you? How has it worked out for you?
Well, Surrender is working out well because at such a time, the market, artists need to study the market. When you come up with hit bangers during a period when you're not performing, it's you losing. And it's not just losing, but it's also occupying the free space that you should have used when they open up. For example, I cannot come up with hit bangers right now until when I'm very sure that there is an opening for performances. Now, if I come up with that hit banger right now, that means it's going to be a hassle to replace it. Okay? So I've been recording music and I'm coming up with my album, but I had to keep the hit bangers away until the right time when there are two things happening. Yes, you can say there's streaming, but I mean, you can listen now, right now, in the whole country, the biggest songs that we're playing, they are all gone. So by the time they even open in the next 2, 3, 4 months, these songs will not be even, they'll not pay back to the artist. For relevance purposes, it's okay. But for me, as I said earlier, I'm already, relevant, top class relevance. So I had to do a step, what they call step release. And I usually do that. People should go backwards and study what Bebe does. I never bring the best song in the beginning. I always bring the best song in the last. That's why every December, apart from last year, every December, I'm the most relevant hit maker.
Yeah.
It's because I save the best for last.
Yeah. Tracks me back to the time I was talking to you, and you said to me that I was asking you, baby, this song Wakaima, it doesn't sound like you for the past 2 years. You've been doing super dope, like mellow, Afrobeat, serious music. Nenkubuuza naye Wakaima, and then you told me, you said something to me I'll never forget. You said, otuuka time nolabanga abantu yakala bawamu ku kibaala ku ndongo, and then nobamu nekibayisawo mpola mpola. That I never knew that even you, like the most celebrated musicians, mutuuka ku time ne mugamba kankubayo ez'ekibaala just.
Basically, when it comes to me, and I don't mind telling my fellow artists out there, I cater for all my audiences. So you can be partying in Governor and these high-end bars thinking that that's what it takes. But I know there are border guys out there. I know there's a concert in Luero. Songs that we hit, most of the 60% of the songs that hit in Kampala don't do concerts up country.
Hey.
Yes. A song like Love You Every Day being a big song in Kampala, it was very difficult for such a song to penetrate Kamuli down there where you're looking for the guys on the village to pay for the concerts. Yeah. You get my point? Yeah. So you need, if you're a clever artist, you need to cater for all the different audiences with different styles. Yeah. So when you release a song, you may not necessarily release one for the young. You may release one for the, mature people. Yeah. So when you hear Surrender, you can easily tell that there's a flow of maturity in it. Yes. Now, when I need to go down to the young ones, I will go at the right time, because the young ones, and then also you have to look at the audience that pays. Yes. It's not only the audience that dances. There's an audience that pays. Yes. So this music is so you really have to study. Young people don't pay concerts because they don't work, because they don't have money. True. So people who pay concerts are, a bit mature. Yeah. I remember the time when FIFA Maker did a concert. He had very nice music. Yeah. The whole country was dancing to it, but no one appeared at the concert. You remember that thing in Lugogo? Yeah, Chadondo. I remember talking to his promoter at that time, and I told him he should have done a gig during the day to where Buzz does it. It's because that's the audience, the kids. That's first mistake. Then number two, the young people really don't have that much money. So even when you do that gig, you do it for 5, 10K, because those are students. Yeah. But people like we do events of 100,000, 3 million, 5 million table. Yeah. Now, what music do you think will appeal to a person who's going to give you 5 million for a table? So that's very important. So as we go by, I'll keep on teaching people slowly the decisions that we come up with, people like me, to release certain songs at a certain time.
Wow. Amazing stuff. Still catching up with big size Bebe Cool himself. Now, Bebe, one of the top two things that we came here, of course, I cannot go without asking you, Bebe. First of all, are your fans? We've been waiting for so long for the album to drop, as you promised on the first when you were in studio. And when we put you up today, most people are elated that the album has finally dropped. I want you to address that issue because they have been waiting for so long. Address that issue.
No, definitely the album is not yet ready, and I'm playing with the timing of the opening, because definitely I'll need crowds. I need all the press in one place. I need, then the next launch will be, the first launch will be the press, the next one will be the DJs, and then open up the big concert dates. So all that is hindered by COVID. Yeah. So at the same time, I'm also flowing with the trend. What is happening, what music is. So there's music, then you pull it out, then you go back, change the beats, and then, because time is going as COVID is delaying us. Yes. You don't want to drop things that are past. You've seen 2 or 3 artists, I won't mention names. Yeah. One of them, a female artist, the album didn't work well because of that same reason. Yeah. Had that album been dropped at the time of the music, of the trend, it would have worked. So my album will come. I'm very sure in less than 3 months it will be ready. It will be ready in a month and a half or 2, but I'll have to send it for mix and master. Yeah. And that's about 15 songs, will take about a month.
A month. Okay, there we go, man. Bebe Cool, endongo bakyagaanya okugiggulawo. Do you want to shine a light on that? Regardless of the fact that so many faculties have been opened. Endongo bakyagaanya okugiggulawo. And so many of your fellow musicians are, going to the brim, going to the wall, and they are getting frustrated. They are asking, How different are they? Not human beings or what? What is the difference?
Me too. I actually had a chat yesterday, but one with the speaker, uh, Mama Kadaga. I went and I addressed two issues. One about these kids that represented Uganda in the under 20 that were denied to be given exams, and we spoke about the issue of the artists, yes, or the bars and everything. Well, you get to understand that if you read news and follow the social media beyond our borders, COVID is really still in play. You get to understand that. A country like Kenya right now, all the hospitals are full. Okay? South Africa wants to lock down again. Okay? You saw what happened, rest in peace. You saw what happened to Tanzania. So any chance of taking COVID unserious, putting in mind that our health system, we don't have really so much when it comes to hospitals, okay? And then we also pray that we don't want to put our health workers at risk. We really cannot put a gun on government to open, though government has responsibility to keep us alive and to replace what should have been open. For example, stimulus. This sector needs, this issue has to be solved. This issue has to be, government has to come up quickly. The president needs to move on stimulus when it comes to artists and bar people, because this is the sector that employs the youngest people in big numbers in this country. You can't ignore the fact. You may call us, right now I'm also frustrated, okay? The president doesn't feed me. He's not sending me any money, no. I've used all my savings, okay? I've done everything. So I'm as good as, if that happens to Bebe Cool, how about the rest? Yes. This is a whole, how many months now? 15 months? Yes. Or about 14 months? Yes. When you're not working. People like us who have hundreds of people who depend on us. And that's a big problem that, government hasn't looked into. Artists, bar owners, such people have so many people who depend on them. True. When you go to a bar, there's a waitress, there's a cleaner, there's a bouncer, there's an askari, there's a DJ, and they're not one. There are many in numbers, so many waitresses. They're out of the bar. They are barmen, okay? They are bouncers, there are so many. There are guys on the door. So it's not about just the bar guy selling. It's about 25 people within one bar. Yeah. And Uganda has so many bars, but all these people who work in bars, 90% of them are below 35. So really this issue, we are tackling it. I've also put in my voice. I'm supportive of my fellow artists and producers and DJs and whatever. Government needs to quickly move on the side of stimulus. Otherwise, we agree, if you can't open, then you can't just sacrifice people to die. Yes. Just because you can't open, because either way we would be dead anyway. Yes. So I'm sure that this message goes clearly, because every time I get on TV or radio, I say this clearly. We need that.
How about the whole idea that about a week ago there was proverbial evidence that we have really done well with numbers of COVID, and already the people have gone home. Yes. And people are thinking maybe now is the time.
Okay, that's a big mistake. Just because we don't have sick people in hospitals does not mean COVID has gone. We have borders open, flights are going on. It took only 2 to 3 weeks this country to be full of COVID. We don't want that to happen. Our closest neighbor has COVID. Actually, our closest neighbors are doing bad. You saw what happened in Congo also, the opposition leader who died. Okay? Yeah. And if such people are still dying in our neighborhoods, you just know that COVID is around. Our country is a landlocked country. It is in and out Congo, in and out Rwanda, in and out Tanzania, in and out Kenya, in and out South Sudan. But all those countries are packed with COVID. So the fight, fighting COVID has been done very well by Uganda. You don't want to try the second time.
You don't want to ruin the achievement.
Yes, I personally lost a son in this. So people who have lost people really know that we don't need, or those who have been sick know that we don't need this a second time. Yes, we agree we don't, but when it comes to people who are government needs to quickly support those who are not working. It may not even be just the musicians, but only that the problem with the entertainment industry is it employs so many young people.
True.
Yes.
Yeah, messages coming in from the big size Bebe Cool, one of the leaders of the industry, if not the leader of the industry. Hope government is watching and you can probably, pick a leaf out of this. Bebe Cool, away from that, let me ask you real quick. The Omar Lay, saga, the confusion and all that drama, somehow you got a lot of heat from Nigeria. The whole industry came for you. The whole Nigerian industry came for you. People like Whiskey, Davido, and everybody came for you. Twitter was on fire. Everybody was against you. And then, of course, you came out. You cleared the air. You cleared the name. That, of course, you played a very big part when it came to partaking and regaining their freedom. Now, weeks into that, we see, Nigerian movies acting and using your brand. Am I safe to say you benefited out of that, or you could celebrate, all the drama that came out of that?
Depending on how an artist handles their situations, but an artist is supposed to benefit from everything that comes their way, positive or negative, as long as it's not death, because once you die, you won't benefit, it will be your kids. But positive or negative, as long as you're not doing something wrong, you're supposed to use that opportunity to get where you get. So for me, all I did was to involve myself in releasing the artist, and I became a story. The story became the Bebe Cool, and Bebe Cool became the story, and that's what we work for. I mean, you can come to me thinking you're hitting me, but sorry, you may just be propelling my whole, status to another level. And that's what happened in Nigeria. I could have not, penetrated using a song, but I penetrated using a story. And it wasn't to my making, though, but it just happened like that. So artists just need to learn how to take advantage of every situation that comes their way, as long as they're not hurting people. Yes.
Nice one. All right, now real quick, we know that we also have NTB in the process. You are still, the last time we spoke to you in studio, you did speak to us about how busy you are with being an ambassador and giving back to the community. I remember, and I quote you saying, you have to use your status to help others, given that God has already blessed you to uplift others. That's why you're giving yourself to help others. Today is NTB Day. How far have you gone with this?
Well, I'm very happy and proud to have been part of the people fighting TB in Uganda. My organization, Amber Heart Foundation, we have come to the end of our first project, which was 12 months. We managed to screen 500,000 Ugandans in 3 districts. In the 12 months, we managed to get about 4,000 to 6,000 presumptives. Presumptives, I mean people who suspect to be having TB. And then we managed to get about 1,100 positives since we began up to the end. TB is an airborne disease, one that if a person is not treated, it moves in air. If a person is not treated, you can easily catch TB, okay? So, imagine we were not looking for those 1,000 people, it was very easy for 3 months to give you 3,000 people sick. Tuberculosis is the #1 killer. I repeat this.
Is it?
Tuberculosis is the #1 killer disease in the world. It is so unfair and so ironic. It's so stupid for the world to concentrate this much on COVID, which is about number 3 in the diseases that are killing people, to give it such a concentration. And then a disease like TB, which is killing people 3 or 4 times more than COVID, is ignored. A vaccine has been found for COVID within 12 months, but there's not been achievement for a vaccine for TB for all those years that people have been fighting tuberculosis. So it's totally unfair, and I can't understand such a game when it comes to World Health Organization, okay? So tuberculosis in Uganda kills so many people, okay? Today is World TB Day, and there was a theme. Of course, TB has a lot of issues, okay? The theme for this time is to support people who are on medication to be able to complete the medication. And this also comes from the fact that there's a lot of stigma, okay? Because when there's stigma, then a person hates themselves, a family disorients from them, no one is encouraging the sick person to take medication. So you find that instead of a person taking the drugs, they throw them away and then they head towards death. TB is a disease that cures. People must know that it cures, it's curable. And the good thing in Uganda, it's free treatment. Tuberculosis, once you have TB, you get free checkups and then free treatment, the 6 months. The most dangerous thing about TB that people should know is if you miss your timetable of taking the medicine after 6 months, it is going it is going to do what? It is instead after the 6 months it's going to become MDR. Now MDR, treating MDR takes you more than a year, and it includes injections. So if you have TB, you're safer doing the drugs for 6 months than letting it become MDR and then you restart another whole year. So this is the theme for the day. Encourage people to do their medicine all throughout, so that they don't turn into another, difficult type of TB, which is MDR.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bebe Cool. You have done amazingly well, I believe so. Thank you for giving yourself to the public and society. Don't stop at that. Like you said, use the gift you have to be a blessing to others. I know you are still giving yourself, and I believe you've done amazingly well. Well, we also want to say thank you for inviting us here. Today is Soyuji. We are celebrating Ugandan music. You can request for 2 Ugandan songs you want us to play for you, not yours, and we shall definitely play them for you.
Give me
Uganda, Bebe Cool.
Mani, give me Chameleon song. It's called Chigwalero. And give me Buligita. Because my children love Buligita. So
all right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Big Size. Thank you for catching up with us. Buligita and Chigwalero coming in from Big Size, Bebe Cool. And then, of course, us being here, we cannot go without having a piece of cake. You know, Mami Zuena is the queen of cakes. Now, the fact that she saw me here, she decided I could go without having a cake. Nakaombe, we are not bringing a cake for you. So, Bebe Cool, you need to cut a slice for us. Yes. And and Nixon wali kati ayagala kubuuka kuyita mu camera tojja kujja. Chiwatule is just for us. This is for Mami Zuena. This is from Mami Zuena. This cake is being made right about now. If you go inside there, Mami Zu is making like 1 million of them. So just in case you're thinking about cakes, Zuena Cakes is definitely the place to be. We want to say thank you, Mami Zuena. Thank you, Uncle Bebe Cool. Back to you. Chigwalero and Buligita from Bebe Cool. This is Soyuji.